What's up guys, Lifting here. In this video I'm just gonna unveil some items because I thought that was pretty interesting when I did that. We'll see if we get some cool mods. And I'm currently playing on my LiftingNerdBro. I'm an 80 Inquisitor right now playing Winter Orb, and I'll be making a video very soon about how I'm going about it and why I choose Inquisitor, etc. But let's just casually unveil some items. I've done a few already, and I have these here in my inventory, and then I had a few others up here that we will check out. Some of the cool mods that I've gotten so far has been like damage conversion, so physical to cold or lightning or whatever. And you can get some pretty sick mods here that really enables you to create new builds, whereas for instance the physical conversion ones, whereas before you were very dependent on being close to the cluster down here to get proper cold conversion or use a specific Watcher's Eye jewel, etc. Then these things here really makes that easier. So there's some very interesting unveiled mods, so let's just see if we get something cool or if we just upgrade on the ones we have. So we'll start by the shield here. We can choose, okay, so these are upgrades. Now there's one new, and that would be increased armor and evasion plus life. So you get 3-for-1 suffix or affix here. I'm not really sure. Can we see what it is? I guess we could if we were trying to craft it. And then there is the added fire and cold damage, and then armor during soul gain prevention. This here is pretty useful too, because this does not only add to your attacks, it will add to your spells too. So if you put this on a ring and such, this can be a pretty big damage boost early on. And maybe even when this reaches tier 4, it will be enough to carry into late game for it to be good. But this here really helped, for instance, when I was leveling my Winter Orb to add some damage to that. But since I haven't unlocked this and I want it to be able to upgrade later, I think we'll just go with... No, fuck it, I'll go with this here because I want to test that out later. This one here, armor during soul gain prevention. Yeah, I don't know. It's not enough. Well, it scales quite effectively when it's that number, but yeah. Alright, we got this. And some of them you can actually unveil twice. I'm not really sure what it is that makes it so. I think it's the ones that drop from the boys inside their hideouts. So from the claw here, we are getting attacks with this weapon penetrate 11 resistances, elemental resistance. That's pretty damn good too. That's a sick affix to put on your weapon. 13% to damage over time multiplier, cold damage over time multiplier. With the new skills, with the wave vortex, and what is it? Is it can't remember what else, but there's a few others that really emphasizes the use of cold over time, and that works great with the occultist now. So maybe this could be pretty sweet too. We can see that's a tier 3 upgrade though. So just keep that in mind, whereas these are 2. And we can get 62 increased physical damage and chance to blind enemies on hit. That's definitely useful too. There's a couple of builds that really benefit from having high blind. I think I'll go with the weapon penetrated elemental resist though. It's not really, none of this is really useful for what I am using, but still. The blind, it didn't say attacks. That could be sick, and it was global physical damage. Could that have worked for Blade Vortex, so you could get a really high blind chance every time you hit with the Blade Vortex and scale the damage? Now I didn't see if... I don't think it said weapon. That could be pretty sick then, actually. As a form of secondary defense or tertiary defense. Either way, next we're doing it with the scepter here. And we can choose a tier 2 here, increased physical damage, chance to impale enemies on hit with attacks. I'm still uncertain about the whole impale mechanics, so I'm not really going to comment too much on that, but it's global fist damage, and this is of course with attacks though, so it's something you want to use with an attack based, but still. Then minions, this is tier 1, minions have 13% increased maximum life. That's a strong... That's a very strong mod for tier 1, and then 15% increased damage. But I guess we gotta assume that it's on weapons, that it belongs to that weapon type. So of course you also Well, the thing is, if you're playing a summoner, there's not that many weapons where you specifically want a unique. A rare can, in many cases, be very nice. So this could be a pretty nice affix for sure once it reaches higher tier. And then you could also get attacks with this weapon penetrate 8 chaos resistance. So this is new too. I'm gonna go with the minion thing here. Not that I can use it for this, but down the line, pretty cool. Cool. Then for the gloves, we can get 12 plus strength or 7 to quality. This is a very interesting thing. I was talking about this a little earlier on the stream. I've gotten this one here before. You can see quality. So what I haven't confirmed this, but what I would imagine this could be is like, let's say you put 20 quality on your item here, and then you put this one on top of it. I think this could mean that you can get up to whatever, you know, the tier can go up to, but in this case you get up to 33 quality. Now, quality on weapons can make a huge difference, getting a high quality roll on your weapons, because it scales the implicit damage of them. Now, this is for gloves here, but I don't know if it exists for weapons too, or if it's necessarily limited to only gloves, but still, if you can get quality rolls above the threshold, that is really good. In bestiary there was a recipe, and that's also possible now with the bestiary mods, that would allow you to, if the item got corrupted at the same time, you could take it to 30 quality. I used to do that on my claws I used back then, the Touch of Anguish claws, and it makes a big difference in terms of damage. So we'll have to see. I'm a little curious to see how these are going to work, but I'm gonna go with since I haven't unlocked this and I want to be able to upgrade it later, I'm just gonna go with this here, strength and quality. You can always upgrade the other ones. I'm not sure, maybe this here indicates exactly what this can be used on. So if that is the case, then we can see it is weapons here and armor. So pretty damn sick if it allows us to go above that. But if it doesn't, yeah, I guess the meaning, nah. I'm thinking if you could do it on corrupt to get some quality on it then, but I'm not sure if these bypass corruption. Either way. Then weapon, we're doing it on the foil here. So 7% increased attack speed while rare or unique enemy is nearby. So this is great if you're bossing basically. Or trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill. So you could do it very offensively with offensive skills, I guess, and then if they are supported by support gems, you basically make like a very powerful cast on skill use. Kind of like, is it Mjolnir? I think that's on attack. Anytime you attack. We're definitely gonna choose this. Let me just try and go to, and we can put it on weapons, we can see that. Let me just try and go to the crafting bench up here. I want to see. Alright, so we can see it here, and it costs only 3 chaos. Trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill. That is very, very interesting. We don't know what the cooldown of this is. This is something I'll want to test out later. And doesn't say like you're exclusively having to only use one. So let's say you're dual wielding, you could have one in each. Very interesting. By the way, let's check out the other ones. So yeah, that's what we went with, of course. We have the mask here. 2% of physical damage from hits taken as fire damage. Can be useful in many situations. This is a tier 1 too. And then we have 29 increased evasion energy shield plus maximum life. And 20% chance to dodge attacks with attack hits while focused. Oh yeah, okay, when we're focused, so yeah. But still, that's a pretty substantial buff. I'm not sure how many will be using it though, because typically you are already getting close to dodge cap if you really focus on the dodge, but then who knows. I'm gonna go with this just because we haven't unlocked it. The 2% of physical damage it's taking this fire. Let's check what the gloves have here. 12% to lightning and chaos res, 19 to strength and 12 to quality. So basically this is an upgrade of the one we had before, and then there's dex and 11 to quality. We'll just go with this one here. Strength and quality. Let's test this one here. This is a rapier, or rapier, where it's pronounced. So attacks with this weapon, we can go up to 11 chaos res here, and the tier 2 one here, increased physical damage, chance to blind on hit. It's global fizz. Or it's not, it's not attack based. So you can use this with Blade Vortex. Man, you would be able to very, very efficiently blind enemies this way because of the rapid hits. That would be a very strong defense and an offensive buff at the same time because of the increased physical damage. And then we have attacks with this weapon penetrate 9% elemental resistances. I'm just going to go with this because this is weapon specific. Whereas, I'm not sure what the other one was, but we had penetrating resistances. Let's get that unlocked. We have the staff here too. 30% increased fist damage. Chance to poison on hit. That's all of these, no, 2 of them are tier 1s. Increased fire damage and 13% chance to ignite. And cold damage over time multiply. I think I'm gonna go with this one here, increased fire damage and ignite, because I kind of want to try something like that down the line. And it's super fun to unveil these things here. I feel like I'm opening magic card packs. Let's test this one here. So here we have 27% increased armor and 15 to maximum life. Tier 2. Tier 1 here, 7% additional physical damage reduction while focused. So this is 7%. I wonder how high this goes for tier 4, which I'm as far as I remember is the highest. And then 6% of physical damage taken from hits gained as fire. So that's the tier 3 version of that. Let's just go with this here. Alright, new crafting unlocked. We'll go with the gloves now, see what they provide. We have physical damage reduction while focused. So this is I can't even, wasn't this the one we just passed by? And now it's a tier 3. I'm still a little confused about the whole tiers and how they're gonna work with that. Either way, we can see here plus level of socketed AoE gems and 9% increased area effect. That's a really, really sick unlock here. But so is 23% increased damage while leeching. If you're playing a Slayer, you're pretty much leeching all the time because it keeps leeching even when you're capped right. So this one here could be pretty significant, especially considering this is a level 1, right? But I will go with this one here because I think that could be useful to myself later actually. Cool. And we can get that on helmet and gloves. You can put this on the type of gloves that already have the shaper mods, I assume, so you can get some pretty crazy combinations here. Alright, so for rings, we have maximum life, maximum mana. We have 32 to maximum mana, 5% of damage taken gained as mana. This one here is actually really nice if you're playing Mind Over Matter. I believe they've nerfed it now, whereas before it was much stronger. But this here is still very, very nice, preventing you from, or at least greatly increasing the rate of which you recover your mana when you're taking a lot of damage, because obviously if you're Mind Over Matter, you don't want to go so low that your Mind Over Matter doesn't work anymore. So this one here is really good. Also, early on, there is a similar one that gives you flat mana regen, which makes the leveling really, really solid. I used that earlier myself. But I think I'll So we can see that it's almost about to upgrade here. I'm just going to try this here because maybe this is not the level that it refers to, but I'm not really sure what it does refer to then. Either way, we can see that going with that didn't really change anything. Either way. Unveil. Yeah, we have this similar thing here too, with reduced mana cost of skills and in max mana. But I think I'll go with the Cold and Lightning flat, because we can use that ourselves, similar to the one we picked in the beginning. Alright, unlocked, and that can be done on shields, rings and quivers. We'll unveil on this one here. 0.6 of life regenerated per second. That's a pretty significant amount of life you could potentially put on an item. And if this is, again, if I'm not misunderstanding, if this is a tier 1 craft right now, and you can get that to tier 4, imagine being able to craft, or the amount that this will be able to apply. Could make a lot of Righteous Fire builds or Uberlab farmers that just want to shit all over traps. Very happy. This one is interesting. You have Wall Pact while focused. 10% of damage leached as life while focused. That's a very that's a very interesting mod here. Yeah, that's actually very useful, because then you can apply the Wall Pact when you want and not suffer from it otherwise. Yeah, for this build here, it's not really that useful. I'm gonna go with the life regen, but this one here is definitely interesting. All right, then we have a ring here. So strength and intelligence, 3% increased attack and cast speed, and lightning and chaos resist. So let's just go with this one here, get this unlocked. Alright. What was that? Why can I not do this? Oh, it's already been. So it's this one here, Unveil. This will give us 10% increased global critical strike chance, and then 15 to critical strike multiplier if you've shattered an enemy recently. This is pretty damn powerful, because at least many builds with their Herald of Ice crit base, they shatter all the time, so it's almost like an effective permanent critical multiplier, of course, but not against bosses, right? This one here I was using a little myself. Shock nearby enemies for 2 seconds when you focus. That's pretty strong. So I guess maybe it can refer to the tier that it is, but it's not necessarily guaranteeing that you upgrade it. It shows the experience that you get, but not necessarily enough for it to upgrade. So let me just try and confirm if that's the case here. So if we do this, yeah, it remains as the same, it just gains more. So if we do it the next time, maybe it will have enough to go to tier 2. Okay, I think I understand that now. Alright, I had a few other items I want to unveil up there, but so far some pretty interesting unveiled mods here. Now, before you say anything, I'm pretty sure you could just go to a web page and check out all the unveiled mods. It's just more fun this way here. I've purposely tried not to do that. Yeah, I have a few items here. Let's check those out. Unveil. So, on a wand here, we're gonna unveil 4% increased damage per frenzy charge. Okay, there's some raiders that might enjoy this. 13% chance to deal double damage while focused. That's pretty damn significant. I guess the chance is not that high, but still interesting. And then 7% increased attack speed while a rare unique enemy is nearby. I'm gonna go with this one here and just get this unlocked, get it up, and then we have it here. New crafting unlocked. Check the belts, strength and dex, trap throwing speed, and increase cooldown recovery speed. Wow, okay, that's really good. How far can that go? You can actually craft it on like this now. This is a mod people were very, very interested in before. But it was very hard to get. Now you can craft it directly here. So, okay. I'm curious to see how far this goes. Only on belts. Let's check the weapon here. We can choose between increased fists, damage, poison and hit, as we saw earlier. 41% increased chaos damage. Chaos skills have 10% increased skill effect duration. Wow, that is a pretty significant buff too. And attacks with this weapon penetrate elemental resist. We'll go with this one here. That says... Sweet. Then we have 81% increased physical damage and change to poison on hits. This something like this, again, this should work with Blade Vortex because it isn't, you know, it isn't weapon dependent, I guess you could say. Chaos resist penetration and attacks with this weapon penetrate elemental resist. I'm gonna go with this one up here. I'll try this later. So we have fists and change to poison and hit. It does. Well, then again, it actually isn't global, is it? I think this here. It may actually just be because it's a weapon we've been crafting it on. It's probably because it was on a weapon, so it increases the weapon of it, and then the change to blind and change to poison. I think, but then again, I think we could craft it on other stuff than the helmets. Either way, I'll have to go back in the video and check that later, but pretty interesting if it's not just on the weapon that it increases it. But it probably is. Either way, let's check here. Two-hander here. Attacks with this weapon penetrate 11 chaos rests, 65 or 61 increased fists, and change to impale enemies with attacks. Minions have increased 32 increased maximum life and 30 increased damage. That is pretty substantial once again. And we can get that on both one-hander and two-handers. That is pretty damn sick. All right, final item here, I think. Yeah, and it is 33 crit multiplier while there's a rare or unique enemy nearby. That is substantial. 16% increased attack speed while a rare or unique enemy is nearby. Pretty damn substantial again. And trigger a target spell when you use a skill. Now, we already had this, and I'm a little unsure what would happen here if we do this again. You guys saw that earlier. We can't really see what happens here now. I may completely be wasting a veiled mod here, but for the sake of experimenting and figuring it out, I'm just gonna try and do this and see if it changes anything. And it did not. So we can't. I'm pretty sure we can't go back. Okay, so that's. I guess that means that it's a waste. Except for, of course, it gives the free mod onto the items. So yeah. All right, very interesting. Very interesting. Let me just see if I have the item up here that had the trigger mod before. Whoops. Where did I put them? Maybe I did put them in here. There was the trigger. Was it this one here? Trigger target spell when you use a skill. I would love to test this out. I'm nowhere close to having the dex to run this. But I'll have to do that later. Maybe if I find out that this is good, I'll make a video for it. But basically, guys, that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to unveil these mods so we could check them out together. As I said, I'm very sure that there's a website that reveals them all, but it's a little more fun this way, not spoiling it completely for oneself before you see it. So pretty awesome, and hope you guys enjoyed it. There'll be a couple of beginner guides out very soon. And I will also be making a video about my Inquisitor Winter Orb guy here and share my thoughts on that in very soon. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?